Okay, everybody. Could I have your attention, please? We're going to call the concurrent joint meetings of the City Council of the City of Commerce and the Joint Powers Financing Authority and governing body of the successor agency to the Commerce Community Development Commission to order. Nina, do we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
Councilmember Lainez.
Here.
Councilmember Iborio. Here. Vice Mayor Altamirano.
Here.
And Mayor Gumedo.
Here. And at this time, if we can have everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing for the invocation. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be by City Manager Ernesto Hernandez, and invocation will be by Councilmember Rebollo. Thank you.
Please join me in honoring our flag, placing your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here gathered to make the best decisions for this community. At this time, Lord, we ask that you be with those that are in mourning, that you be with those that are happy, that you be with everyone, Lord, that is fighting for this country, that you be with our law enforcement. And Lord, as we reach a monumental time for our country, may you remind all of us to make the best decisions for our country and for this city. I ask that you be with every single candidate locally and abroad, and that you continue to do your will within our country and this community. We ask this in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you both. And at this time, we're going to move to appearances and presentations. Item number 1, proclamation declaring October the 23rd through the 31st, 2024 as Red Ribbon Week in the City of Commerce. Do we have a presentation?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. Justin Edson with Public Safety. Tonight, I'd like to proclaim this week as Red Ribbon Week. This is a very important cause that's been around since 1985. So tonight, I'd just like to share some information about what we're honoring this week regarding Red Ribbon. So this actually began in 1985. And this goes from October 23rd to the 31st, so it starts tomorrow for 1 week. It's the same dates every year. And this was in honor of the DEA agent Enrique Camarena, and he unfortunately was murdered doing his job. And since then, there's been this growing need nationwide to promote drug-free with the children. And so over the years and the decades, it's grown bigger and bigger. Now there's over 600 different agencies involved nationwide for this to remind our students and our youth to stay healthy and stay away from drugs. So this is a symbol, symbolizes that commitment, and we'll be starting that tomorrow. So this year's theme, every year they create a theme. They have submissions for it. So this year, the theme that they chose was Life is a Movie, Film Drug Free. So that's what we'll be sharing with the students tomorrow. So our activities for tomorrow, public safety, the LA Sheriffs, and then also Montebello School Police will be joining us. We'll be going to Rosewood Senior Academy and then also Bandini Elementary at their assemblies. And we're going to be doing presentations to talk about drug awareness. We're going to have a canine demonstration, and of course McGruff, who's always the big hit for the children. So that's our activities for tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So with that, I did want to just remind and also repeat what our pledge is for this week. And this is something that we will do with the students tomorrow, and that's I support Red Ribbon Week. I pledge to grow up safe, healthy, and drug-free. By understanding the dangers of drug use and abuse, respecting myself and being drug-free, spreading the word to family and friends about the importance of being healthy and drug-free. So with that, that concludes our presentation, but this week we are honoring Red Ribbon Week with our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. And I will go ahead and read the proclamation. Appreciate your presentation on it. A proclamation of the City Council of the City of Commerce designating the week of October 23rd through 31st, 2024 as Red Ribbon Week. Whereas since 1985, the National Family Partnership designated provides drug awareness by sponsoring the National Red Ribbon Campaign. Whereas the National Family Partnership and its network of individuals and organizations continue to deliver their message of hope to millions of people every year. And whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign has designated October the 23rd through the 31st as Red Ribbon Week. Whereas in response to the murder of DEA agent Kiki Camarena, angered parents and youth in communities across the country began wearing red ribbons. Whereas in honor of Camarena's memory and his battle against illegal drugs, friends and neighbors began to wear red badges of satin, and parents began to form coalitions nationwide. And whereas these new coalitions took Camarena as their model and embraced his belief that one person can make a difference. Whereas today the Red Ribbon serves as a catalyst to mobilize communities such as the City of Commerce to educate youth and encourage participation in drug prevention activities. And whereas the City of Commerce Red Ribbon events will include anti-bullying awareness, skits and messages, and Red Ribbon Day rallies on Wednesday, October the 28th at local schools and library during the week of October the 23rd through the 31st of 2024. And now, therefore, I, Hugo Argumedo, City of Commerce Mayor, and the members of the City Council do hereby join the National Family Partnership in proclaiming the week of October 23rd through the 31st, 2024 as Red Ribbon Week, and encourage all who live and work in the City of Commerce to take a stand against crime, drugs, and bullying, and work together to make the city a safer and stronger community. Passed and adopted this 22nd day of October 2024. Signed, Mayor Hugo Argumedo and the members of the City Council. Thank you. And that concludes this item. Thank you all, and we'll go ahead and move to public comments. And I see we do have a couple of cards here. We'll start with Honey Bizarro.
Good evening, council members. My name is Honey Bizarro. I am a community member of Commerce, and I'm writing to urge the mayor, the vice mayor, council members to reach out to work with myself and other Commerce community members here today. It's imperative to engage with us directly and gain a deeper understanding of the pressing issues that we face here in Commerce. By meeting with us, you can gather firsthand insights into the systemic challenges that we've been attempting to converse with you that really impact our lives negatively and explore potential solutions collaboratively. I'm here to show you guys an email that I sent on August 21st, and this email was confirmed by Mayor Argumedo that he received it at the anti-displacement meeting on August 22nd, but I have not gotten a response yet from anyone. And I just want to have, direct communication with our council members so we can discuss the issues that we're facing here. And yeah, we respectfully urge to prioritize open dialogue and community engagement by responding to me, Susanna, at my email, SusannaH.Bizarro@gmail.com, or Jasmine Gonzalez is here, or some of the other community members who have been emailing you in an attempt to schedule a meeting. So yeah, thank you to those who have already expressed their willingness to engage with us, but we definitely want to see some open communication between us and these community members. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Honey Bizarro. And
Can I leave this
excuse me, your address for the record, please. Your address.
Susanna, S-U-S.
No, I meant your address for the record, please.
My address for what?
Yeah, your resident address?
I'm a community member of.
Oh, okay,
Commerce. Yeah,
okay.
I'm
Okay.
part of CELA, but I go to school in ELAC and I work in
Okay,
Commerce.
all right, thank you, not a problem, thank you. And, okay, next speaker, Patricia Dueres. And if you don't mind, Patricia, just for the record, your name and address, if you don't mind. And if you're a community member, that's fine too, as stated earlier, that'll be okay. No, for the next speaker, I just want them to state their name and address for the record, please. Oh, sí.
Hola, mi nombre es Patricia Dueñas. Buenas tardes. Soy residente de aquí de Commerce. Mi residencia es 6023 Sheila Street en Commerce, California 90040. Y estoy apoyando a mis compañeros también. Hemos mandado varios correos, los cuales aún no han sido contestados. Y nos gustaría que por favor si nos contestaran antes de terminar el mes. Como representante de nuestra comunidad es imperativo que se involucren directamente con nosotros para entender los problemas urgentes que enfrentamos y trabajar juntos en solucionarlos. Al reunirse con nosotros podrán obtener información de primera mano sobre los problemas sistemáticos que están afectando negativamente a nuestras vidas y explorar posibles remedios. Respetuosamente solicitamos que prioricen el diálogo abierto y a participar comunitariamente mientras nos esforzamos por crear un vecindario más equitativo y justo para todos, correspondiendo a Yasmín González y a todos nosotros. Si por favor podrían comunicarse con nosotros para poder solucionar las cosas. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Dolores. Digo Patricia, disculpe. Jasmine Gonzalez. And if you don't mind, your name and address for the record, please. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jasmine.
hi, my name is Jasmine Gonzalez. I'm with East Yard Communities for Environmental Justice. I'm an organizer. I'm also a resident of Commerce at 7139 East Stage Avenue. I don't know the reason why we're being asked our address. I wonder if you can get some clarity.
It's just, we generally ask that. I usually skip it because I get, sometimes people just automatically will do it and sometimes I overlook it. But I'm just reminding people to just do it, that's all.
Is that a requirement?
It's up to you. You don't necessarily have to, but let legal counsel respond to that. Legal?
Members of the council, it's actually not a requirement. If the speaker does not want to provide an address, they can do without providing the address. We just do it as a standard practice so that we know which members of the community are present, but you don't have to provide it.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of like being pressured into it, but like honestly, I did not feel comfortable doing it. I did it because it was asked of me, but like I think it's a weird ask.
Okay.
To be honest.
If I may add to the city council, so it's a common practice to ask for residency information when someone comes up to speak, especially as it relates to follow up on different issues. But the city attorney is correct that it is not necessary to provide, but it is a common practice amongst most cities in Southern California.
And I'm aware of it, and I'm just asking because it does help us to, as a city council, as you're bringing up an issue. And I know I've been a little bit relaxed in the past, but some people do, some people don't. You don't have to.
Yeah. I hope it's a practice that can be changed, to be honest, as a resident. But also the reason why I'm here is because I actually want to meet with you to talk about like the issues that we've experienced here, not only as a resident, but also as an organizer that supports residents. And so for the record, I'd like to submit some emails where we received no response in our attempts to meet with the council. And so I have one here dating back to September 13th, 2023, And I had a back and forth with Eileen, who was very like nice and understanding, but we never got a response from an entering council member. And so I just feel like it's a bad look. We want our city to do better, right? And that doesn't go for everyone. Some people have been really awesome in responding. And we also have another email here that I'm submitting for the record, where I believe staff is not forwarding emails to the council. That one's from July. And then I have another one with no response from the mayor that we emailed. And also it was brought to my attention that there should be like some sort of directions for submitting written comments for the council meetings, but I don't know, I don't see it on the agenda. And so I was wondering if that's something that's needed to have, just for like transparency and so for community to know where to submit public comments. But again, I'm here asking y'all to meet with us, preferably before the year is up. You know, we've been trying for like since July. So we'd really appreciate it if y'all could meet with us. Thank you. And
Okay, Jasmine, thank you. Appreciate your comments. Could we respond to her request on, I'm sorry, the second request? I think your question was, if you don't mind repeating that, you wanted some clarification. I know the email. I know there was some issues initially when you guys came before us, and I believe that we weren't receiving them. They were going to some general email, and I eventually did respond. And I know that we've had some dialogue related to the initial request, and I thought we were working on some items related to that. City manager, maybe you might want to fill us in a little bit.
Yes, Mayor and Member City Council. So communications come to the city to one administrative email. And so what we implemented is a system where the patron that provides or puts in a request or asks for information, 20 of the city council members, they will get provided with a response, and then the council member will also be copied in the event that the council member is available. But staff has taken initiative to follow up and meet with members of the public related to any request to any of the council members about any item. So you as council essentially have professionals across all areas of public sector services, and so you will be notified as to what actions are being taken. But as far as automatically put it on your schedules, as staff is responding, staff's providing information. Obviously, any member of the public or any member of the community can still request direct meetings, but as relates to information related to the services we provide and how we provide those services, staff is contacting them directly, depending on what it is. If it's finance, it's finance. If it's public works, that kind of.
Thank you. Just appreciate your question. I just want to make sure we answered it, though. Did it answer the question you were asking? No.
I don't think so.
Okay. So let me do this. So I'm going to respond to your request here, and all your team of members is here. I'll go ahead and request that the city manager please direct our admin staff to set up a meeting, and I will be present at the meeting, and I'll have hopefully if the vice mayor is available to join me so we can hear the issues and concerns, and we can then hopefully figure something out.
Are we allowed to submit documents for the record?
Well, we're gonna sit down and we'll have the meeting, and then we'll go from the meeting.
I mean, I still printed these documents to submit for the record.
Oh no,
So did
absolutely,
Honey.
yes, you can submit them, absolutely.
So did Honey's.
Yeah,
And
can we get them to the city clerk, please?
yeah, we would
Yeah.
like these. We would
Okay.
like these submitted for the record.
We'll get those, and they'll go to the city clerk, and
Thank
we'll
you.
receive them. Yeah, thank you. And we will reach out to you. Who should we reach out to? You? We'll make sure somebody reaches out to you, and we'll schedule a meeting, myself, and hopefully if the vice mayor is available. And then that way, once we're done, we'll go ahead and, depending on what we cover, then we'll direct our city manager to take appropriate action with regards to that, okay? It may just be informational. I don't know the full extent
Perfect,
of
thank
your
you.
request, but yeah, not a problem. We'll sit down and schedule a meeting with you.
Great.
Thank you. Matthew Lipson?
Hi, my name is Matthew Lipson. I'm here representing HP Communications. Our office is at 4400 East Washington Boulevard. It came to my attention that the street, the city wants to put up no parking signs across the front of our building, and I'm not sure exactly where. A few years ago, the street was widened and repainted and repaved, and they put up no parking signs. And we went to the council and had them remove those signs in front of our building, as we have 160 vehicles and 80 employees, and there's nowhere to park inside of the lot. So we park across the front, and there's only 40 spaces at maximum. So we park across the front on the street, and it's a very hard situation because it'll be all of our parking. We'll have to park blocks away for our employees. I'm not exactly sure who brought this up. I was sent a business card, and hopefully I'll get like an email where I can bring the information back around. I guess they sent me here to bring it to the attention of the council.
Would you be the contact for the information on this issue?
Yeah, well, I do.
We actually have your business card.
Yeah,
They
you
just
have
pointed
my
that out to
business
me.
card.
So, Mr. Lipson, we will make sure that we contact you or the appropriate person, and we'll go ahead and follow up on that. We'll take a
the
look at it.
ladies said that they would contact Philco Dominic. He's the person who left his card with the next door neighbor to us.
Okay.
He came over. I think he only speaks a different language, so he was kind of nervous about coming. I've never been to one of these either, but I figured I'd show my face, drop off my information.
Thank you for coming. We will
Appreciate
make
it.
sure. Is there any other items that you'd like to speak on today?
No, let's just get the street we're past at our yard. There's a bus stop, and then the lane that we park in is the third lane, and there's enough room for cars to get by when we're parked there. But then the next street, Arrow Mill, it ends there, and there's parking down the rest of the way. So it turns back into a 2-lane road. It just kind of makes it inconvenient for our office because we have so many employees. So.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
We'll definitely get back to you, and we'll get the appropriate staff to get out there and look at this, and then make the appropriate determination to try to help and assist with them.
I
Okay?
appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. City Manager, if you don't mind following up with each of us related to this item,
Yes, Mayor.
or the individual speaking. Thank you. Mr. Chris Viego.
Good evening, Chris Grego, 2517 Gasper. I want to apologize. This is well overdue. It's due to some medical conditions and my TAM I practice. But a few years ago, we started a football camp here in the City of Commerce. And I went out and reached out to my councilman, Ivan, and asked him what an idea we think I could bring it to the city. And he gave me the green light. I asked Aurelia, she gave me the green light. And I asked Greg, our park and rec, and he gave me the green light. So we started it 3 years ago, and it's blossomed, and it helped us develop a really solid program here in the City of Commerce. I want to thank Meg Garcia this year. She stepped up. I asked her to help donate, and she did. And I want to thank you from the program. And out of the blue, Kevin just came out of the blue and helped us out in the Val Garden football program. Really appreciates your support. By the camp being here in Commerce in the last 3 years, we've gotten 5 kids that probably wouldn't have came to Val Gardens. That probably would have went to Garfield, Scher, or Montebello. But because we have the camp here and because the staff that we have at Val Gardens, they came to Val Gardens. And next Friday, both levels, the first time in about 20 some odd years, that Val Gardens High School will be playing Scher High School for the league championship. Both teams are undefeated on the both levels, and I cannot thank you enough for the help that you've given us the last 2 years, and we hope to do it some more, and we're gearing up for another playoff run in the next couple of weeks. And again, I want to thank the council members that helped us out, and we hope to get your help by the next year when we have a bigger and better camp. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Chris. Appreciate that. Gloria Nezahualcóyotl.
Buenas tardes, Gloria Nezahualcóyotl, 7206 Paseo del Rio in the City of Commerce. And this is going to be filed under elder abuse and fiscal management. Today, I'm here at the suggestion of the Commerce Social Club president. It was requested last Friday that the top chismosa, Gloria Nezahualcóyotl, inform the other 3 council persons of the anomalies of the club. Since February of this year, I have made everyone that sits on these chambers aware that the clubs were not following neither bylaws nor proper rules of orders. Because I kept reminding everyone of this fact, I was publicly humiliated, accused of appropriating club monies, placed on sale, asked to leave the executive table, and taken away the right to speak. All actions were witnessed by senior center staff, senior commissioners, and reported to Parks and Recreation, Director, Commissioners, and Human Resources to no avail. Because aquí se hace lo que yo digo y cuando yo lo digo. Philosophy of the club treasury. Those that spoke out were also humiliated, denied their benefits, because unfortunately, the poor kid died within a few days of his father signing for the club. They were required to pay additional fees, requested to buy additional raffle tickets, or bring items for sale in order to sign up for the field trips. And on the trips were ignored, and in spite of visible disability, delegated to the end of the line. Due to those reasons, excursion bus riders are mostly non-residents. It's October now, and we still do not have a membership list, idea how this year's the election are being conducted, nor if the club will be handed out to the non-residents as requested by current president and treasurer. Your failure to take appropriate action and gave fuel to the aquí se hace lo que yo diga y cuando yo lo diga philosophy of their current leadership. City council and managers have failed to fulfill your strategic focus area guiding principles, community quality life, guiding principle number 4, support and evaluate community services, programs, and events that promote healthy and quality lifestyle for our residents. So I guess in behalf of all those seniors that were involved with it, thank you for that one.
Thank you, Gloria. Appreciate your comments. Director Greg, do you mind coming up, please?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you for coming up. Gloria, thank you for the invitation that you invited me to a meeting with about 28 members of the social club. I went to the meeting to hear the issues and concerns that you raised, that some of them raised. I wanted to hear directly from them. I heard all of the issues and concerns, indicated to you and all of the members that, number one, I would get the books that you were asking for, which is the bylaws for the clubs. I was able to get copies of all 3 of them. I showed you the books, they were outdated, and I indicated to you that I would get them updated. I also indicated to you from the different issues that were raised that you wanted to know there's an election coming up within the club, I believe. And I indicated to you and everybody there that I'm sure that you would be able to have fair elections in your meeting there. And part of it was I read in the bylaws some of the rules and regulations related to voting. And I indicated to you that you would all get a copy of those books so that you would all understand and know the bylaws of your specific groups or the organizations. I just wanted to follow up on that with Greg because shortly after my meeting, I then contacted our director to make sure that these things took place. And I also know that not everybody has formal training, and not even us as council members, to be honest with you. We don't get specific training before we run for office, or any of the members of any of our clubs get specific training on how to run meetings, how to conduct a meeting, all of those things. You kind of have to learn them as you go along, or if you're fortunate to have studied some of this, sometimes you do get some formal training. And because of the meetings that we've had in the past, I know that could contribute to some of the problems that you've been having. I've also asked our director to help and assist where they can. What we didn't want the city council or the staff to be directing the clubs on what they should be doing, how to do it. This is your club. You need to run it. You, the members of that club, need to run the organization. And what I did tell our director was to try to help and assist the club and the membership in running the meetings, but to only assist, not to actually run the meetings or anything. So those are some of the conversations. Director, if you don't mind, I just highlighted some of the things that I believe we covered. And do you have an update regarding the requests that I made?
Yeah, per our discussion last week, Steph and I have already discussed the methods in which we're going to move forward. We understand that there is an election coming up, so our thought process is not to do the books at this time, because then we would actually have to do them again immediately after the election. So we're waiting for the elections to go through, and then at that time when the new board comes in, we will be meeting with the new board to move forward.
Okay, great. And you'll be helping and facilitating meetings in the
I will
future?
be appointing one of our staff to facilitate with the supervisor at the site as well.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Nezahualcóyotl, hopefully you can share that information with your membership and let them know that action has been taken on the issues that were raised at that meeting, and we hope to be able to help and assist you in running your organization to the extent that we can. But we do expect you and your membership to run the club yourselves. It's important that you run the clubs. You are the members of that club, and it should be you guys that run those groups. But thank you. Appreciate your comments. And we have one last card, Irma Vargas. Yeah, I hope. Pardon me? Oh, disregard? Okay. No problem. Thank you. All right, there being no additional public comment, that concludes our public comment section, and we're going to move to consent calendar items 2 through 5, I believe. And if there's no comments or questions on any of these items, a motion would be in order to approve those items.
If there are no questions, Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any objections? Seeing none, motion passes. All items will pass under the consent calendar. And now we'll move to scheduled matters. Item number 6, presentation and update from Sheriff's Department of Public Safety in the City of Commerce. Sergeant
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council members. I'll be providing an update regarding public safety in the City of Commerce. On the first slide, you're going to see Part 1 crimes from the beginning of the year, January to October 19. Assaults as of from October 1st to October 19, we have 1. Robberies, we have 2. Burglaries, we have 1. Other thefts, we have 42. Auto thefts, we have 16. And we have 0 arsons. On the next slide, we'll find a comparison of surrounding cities from October 1st to October 19. I said 1 assault. We have 2 robberies, and both of those were by force or fear. We have 1 burglary, unknown time of day it occurred. We have 42 other thefts. 17 are grand theft, greater than $950. 7 are from vehicles. And 18 are petty theft, which is less than $950. We have 16 auto thefts and 0 arsons. Cudahy has 2 assaults, 3 robberies, 6 other thefts, 5 auto thefts, and 0 arsons. Maywood has 4 assaults, 2 robberies, 2 burglaries, 9 other thefts, 6 auto thefts, 0 arsons. East LA has 20 assaults, 14 robberies, 3 burglaries, 48 other thefts. 48 other thefts, 47 auto thefts, and 1 arson. And like always, there's always the difference in area and population of those. On commerce activities, on Wednesday, October 9, deputies responded to a person with a gun called Bristol Park. 2 male Hispanic juveniles were detained. A firearm was located hidden underneath a storage container. One of the male Hispanic juveniles was a runaway and returned to his parents. On Friday, October 11, deputies arrested a male Hispanic adult for driving with a suspended license warrant. On Wednesday, October 9, deputies attended the Starbucks dedication ceremony at Goodrich and Whittier Boulevard. Thursday, October 10, deputies and public safety attended the Neighborhood Watch meeting at Cole. Monday, October 14, an attempt vehicle theft occurred at the Senior Center parking lot. Tuesday, October 15, deputies, public safety, and code enforcement attended Business Watch meeting at 2749 Tanninger Avenue. Thursday, October 17, a male Hispanic adult was cited for driving without a license. Saturday, October 19, deputies and public safety assisted with making strides against breast cancer walk at the Citadel. Okay. On the next slide, I will provide commerce arrest stats from October 1st to October 19. We have 14 felony arrests, 26 misdemeanor arrests. On the next slide, we have upcoming activities. Red Ribbon Week. Red Ribbon Week assembly at the schools. We'll have Rosewood and Bandini. We have tomorrow Neighborhood Watch meeting. The following day, Thursday. And then we have the Trunk or Treat at Rosewood Park STEAM Academy from 4 to 6. And we have the City of Commerce Halloween Harvest Festival from 5 to 9 on Saturday. In addition, I will be doing one more item. Provide a little update regarding our FLOC system. FLOC is a license plate reader program. Why is it important? The license plate is the best piece of evidence to provide law enforcement. A license plate reader provides much more valuable lead. How do license plate readers help solve crime? License plate numbers give law enforcement leads to investigate and solve investigation. Law enforcement can pinpoint the suspect's last known location, which narrow down the search radius. FLOC doesn't just capture the plate, it also captures specific characteristics like body type, make, color, and more. This can provide an investigative lead for law enforcement when a vehicle has no visible plate. On the next slide, I will provide, it's a graph beginning from, it's going to be September 22nd to October 20th. This is the FLOC plate reads per day. We have 20 cameras in the City of Commerce at different locations. As you could see, our camera reads are really high. We're really busy where they're posted at. So you could see fluctuate. Sometimes we have higher reads than other days. That provides you how many plates are read per day. On the next list, I'll provide City of Commerce Hot List Report. A hot list report, it means stolen plates, felony vehicles that are entered into the system, and deputies receive this information through their MDC, through their cell phone. It's able to download the program. Total hot list alerts, 35. Official hot list alerts, 27. If you go over to it would be my right, total alerts by topic, stolen plates, 26,205. Custom hot list alerts, 5,810. The custom hot list alerts, that is non-owned custom hot list alert, those are that we don't have access to the cameras. There are some cameras that are purchased privately, so we don't have access to those owned. Stolen vehicles, 1,024. Felony vehicles, 72. So that gives you a list of all the information that we gathered. Okay. On the next report, City of Commerce flock outcomes. We want to know what's going on, what's a success. So a success is an arrest, lead, warrant, or stop occurring that has been explicitly associated with a hit on a flock system. So when we stop a vehicle, we have a total success of 68, total cases cleared, 65, total value of recovered property, 70, stolen vehicles recovered, 36. And if you see the chart, the bar chart at the bottom, the green means that it was cleared by arrest, cleared by other means. As I mentioned previously, sometimes license plate readers are not completely accurate. An F could look like an E, an I could be look like a T. So sometimes they misread. So we have to confirm the license plate. So we'll clear it as another means. Or if someone's arrested for a warrant, that's the same thing. They get cleared by other means. Then on the right side, cleared by arrest, you could see that there's 40. Cleared by other means, 25. Investigation in progress, which means someone has entered that plate and is looking for further information. There's 3 of those. On the bottom right-hand corner, those are the locations of the cameras, and it shows us a success rate for the 30 days. So how many vehicles have passed that camera because it has a felony hit, stolen vehicle. So how does this help the City of Commerce residents? If someone reports their car stolen, like they did on Santa, a Jeep, I was able to locate exactly what time that vehicle was stolen, what camera it passed, what direction it went. So it's information that helps us figure out exactly what time. So in this case, I'll give you an example. Resident wakes up, his car's gone. He says, oh, my car just got stolen. Review camera, see that the vehicle actually got stolen about 2:30 based on our flock hit that it hit. So we knew that the vehicle had gone on the freeway. It was out of the area by the time the deputies responded and were taking the report. Another example will be we were getting a lot of stolen freights from the train behind Sheila. There was a license plate that was provided. That license plate was entered into a flock system, and it assisted major crimes to identify who the suspects of these thefts were. So those are just a few examples. That obviously license plate provide a lead for investigation and be able to follow up, try to identify the suspects in committing these crimes. And I'll open it up for any questions.
Any comments or questions? Councilmember Linus.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Sergeant, for the presentation. I appreciate you following up on the request to show the flock statistics, and it's good to see them. So thank you for incorporating that this meeting on your presentation. Could you tell me what the date range of the report is?
Okay, so the data on those are for 30 days. So Flock only keeps storage information for 30 days. So every 30 days, after 30 days, they don't store any information.
Okay, so there's been 65 cases cleared in the last 30 days.
30 days.
Okay. And then in the hot list report that you showed, where there were, I think, was it 35,000 total alerts? Is that in the last 30 days?
So that one's going to be from where the beginning, from December 1st, 2023 to October 22nd, 2024.
Okay.
Can we back up to that slide, please, just so we can reference what?
That's the slide.
That's it right there?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I see it.
So if you look up on the on my left-hand side top corner, date range, December 1st, 2023 to October 22nd, 2024.
Okay. And hot lists are basically just vehicles that are either stolen or have a stolen plate. You mentioned the custom hot list alert, which seemed a little vague, but
Yeah. So a hot list is either it's already been reported stolen, or I'm an investigator and I'm trying to find a vehicle that possibly is involved in a crime. So I enter it to try and identify if they have a pattern or identify if they were within an area where the crime occurred.
okay, so it's a vehicle of interest,
Yes.
essentially, right? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I do thank you for presenting this. I think this is helpful, especially with the cases cleared in the last 30 days. It really kind of puts into perspective like what we're seeing, and it seems like we've been able to recover $70,000 worth of stolen merchandise or goods over that time. So, okay, that's helpful. Do we have that data for? Well, you just said we don't have that data. It only keeps it for 30 days, right?
Yes, only for, so every 30 days, and that's something that so if we want to keep that data monthly, it's something that I will have to do at the end of every month to save it, download it, because otherwise when I try to go back, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I think, and hopefully it's not you that has to do it, right? Hopefully it's somebody within your department. I think as a sergeant, you probably want to focus on higher level items, but I think we should keep a record of what those stats look like monthly, right?
Yeah.
Just so we know, like, just the monthly trends, right? And certainly, as we have this technology over the course of time, right, we may see similarities as far as trends and, in the future. So I think it would be good for us to log that. So thank you for that. And I think another question I had, and it's a little bit different, but we talked about, we implemented the automated license plate readers, and, we kind of see how it's performing right now. I know there's another item here on the agenda tonight to incorporate some additional technology to kind of help us in our public safety efforts. And I think as an agency, how often are we assessing like our strategies to reduce theft? Because I'm looking at theft, right? As far as like assaults and robberies and burglaries, the counts aren't very high, but I consistently see that other theft, right? Like property theft is pretty high, right? And I think this is the first report that I've seen where we were pretty close to East LA. And so I just want to know, if we're looking at that, as far as like assessing what type of different strategies that we can incorporate. And the other question is, what could we do better as a city to partner with you to help reduce theft, right? And when I say as a city, I mean as an organization, right? Our staff, but also as neighbors, as residents, as members of the community. What can we do to do our part to kind of help solve this issue?
So I will say the two theft areas that we have in the city of Commerce are the two shopping centers, which will be the Commerce Center and the Citadel. Commerce Center, I talked to the management person, Raymond Salvatierra. He is working on getting similar cameras to what we're trying to approve tonight, which would be the mobile cameras that you're able to deploy in his parking lot, because he does not have cameras outside the shopping center. It's only individual stores have cameras. So he's trying to get approval from his personnel to be able to buy his own and place them in the parking lot, because as we know, Commerce Center on Sundays is also an issue for us. So having that will assist with thefts, identifying vehicles, identifying people, and any criminal activity going on in there. The Citadel does a very good job. As you know, they have their own security people there. They also do have 2 assigned deputies there. They're not there 24/7, so can't always be there. but they do have cameras and they're able to get license plate from their cameras. But a big thing that the community could do to help us is do not leave your valuables inside your car, visible, even in the trunk. If they see you leave them in the trunk, they're going to break the window and open the trunk. Take your valuables with you. Don't leave them behind. Make sure that you lock your car, even if it's parked in your driveway, because people are looking for opportunities to take. And especially with the holiday time around the corner, we will be adding a lot of security at the shopping centers because people don't want to carry their bags and they'll put them inside their vehicles. Other criminals are watching and they'll break into vehicles.
Okay. Thank you for that, Sergeant. Appreciate the answers. That concludes my questions, Mayor.
Thank you. If there's any others? Sarge, thank you. Appreciate your report. And thank you for the work you're doing out there. We know it's tough out there, and we just appreciate all the good work you guys have been doing out there. I did want to bring attention to the encampment out over in the Veterans Park area. I happen to be out there today, and I've been out there in the past because I've been walking that area, and I keep hearing some of the residents in the area complaining about, of course, the hotel over there that or the motel that they bought and now is a home key project area. A lot of those individuals, it tends to attract a lot of problems over there. And some of the residents are complaining that, they walk from there over, and at night they've been breaking into many of their vehicles over there. There's been a lot of car break-ins on multiple occasions. So that would be the homes behind the Jack in the Box and the homes to the right of that. So they tend to walk through those areas, and I heard the folks, and I told them that we would see what we can do to try to, I guess at minimum, improve, some of the patrolling in the area, but wasn't sure what else. I mean, this is where us looking at what's happening in the area, talking to the folks there and trying to come up with a strategy to try to address some of those problems. I couldn't easily, make a recommendation, but it's just something that we need to address. The other problem they're having over there is that there's been multiple accidents on Slauson and Greenwood. Evidently, there's no left turn signal to turn if you're coming west on Slauson and you want to turn into, on Greenwood. So what you have is when you have a lot of traffic, which Slauson is always busy morning times and in the evenings due to the traffic. And so what you'll have is somebody waiting to make a left-hand turn, let's say, on Greenwood. And, they'll try to make the turn, but somebody's trying to race to try to make it across. And that's where you end up getting accidents. But if you had a turn signal, a left arrow there, then obviously turns red, you can't go. The only people that can turn is the left turn signal. So if we could have somebody look at that, and I know this is for our staff, city manager, if we can have somebody in Public Works or the appropriate department to take a look at that so we can do a traffic study, bring it before planning the traffic commission and see if we can get something approved for that area to address that. That was it. There's ongoing problems. I know I saw a code enforcement guy out there today, one of our new employees evidently, and he was out there. They're going to be clearing out that encampment over behind Ozzy's. And I know they tagged it and they were just reminding them, hey, we're coming back tomorrow. And I don't know if you talked to him or if Justin, you had a conversation with him, but he seemed to be concerned about possibly a underage child that kind of ran away from the area there. And he was concerned that maybe there was a child staying in that area. So he was out there to kind of follow up and check on that. And he was unable to, he didn't see anybody out there when he went out there this morning, but we definitely need to take a look at that. And he did mention he was going to talk to, I believe, yourself or the sergeant. So just want to make sure that we give that some priority and attention. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you again. Appreciate your report. All right, takes us to item number 7, agreement with Sky Elements Drone Show, Inc. for the city birthday opening ceremonies. Great.
Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council, Greg Alanis. Before you is a recommendation to approve an agreement with Sky Elements Drone Shows for the opening ceremonies for the city birthday, the 65th birthday, in the amount of $40,000. I also, this was also approved, just to let you know, during the budget approval on July 9th, of which you approved the following events: service appreciation breakfast, the city birthday, which includes the drone show, senior center celebration, citywide gift that you annually give on, obviously on the birthday years, a family fun snow day. In addition to that, we're enhanced concert in the park, and an enhanced Fiesta Patrias program for next year, because we're assuming that you guys want that back because it was such a success. And then promotional items for publicity, etc. So once again, we're asking that you approve the agreement in the amount of $40,000 to move forward with our opening day ceremony, or opening evening ceremony, obviously, with for the drone show.
Any comments, questions? There being none, a motion would be in order to approve this item.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Is there any objections? Seeing none, motion passes.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. That was the quickest presentation we've had of the evening. Thank you. Number 8, rental of security camera trailers for a 12-month period. Justin.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. Tonight I'll be presenting on a new pilot program that we're looking at funding. And so tonight our recommendation is to enter into a rental with these camera trailers for 12 months. So just a little background on this. Technology is, as you mentioned earlier about the flock cameras, is becoming a crime prevention tool that a lot of cities and agencies are starting to use. Cameras can be a deterrent. They can also help catch crime and get evidence to let law enforcement actually apprehend the suspects. So one technology that's being used mainly in the private sector, but now it's growing in the government sector, is camera trailers. They're portable. You can rotate them. They have 360 cameras, high definition, app-based, which I'll go over some of the features of this. But it's a growing trend because it's mobile and it's useful. And so this program is currently being used by the Lakewood, City of Lakewood Public Safety. They're utilizing the same trailers, the same company as well. But this is something that you could deploy to the parks, to the neighborhoods, key areas where we're seeing increase in crime or street takeovers. We can deploy this. Hopefully it deters the crime in the first place, but if not, it's recording 24/7, so we're able to try to capture some evidence. So this camera program, these are some of the features that this particular model has. It's a quick 10-minute setup that staff can be trained on. Doesn't have to be a specialized person to do this. As a 500-foot AI human detection, so when you set this up, as somebody approaches it, it automatically detects them and it's recording that. And you can set certain features like alarms or notifications because, again, your concern is getting too close to the camera, vandalizing it, or doing something to it. Each trailer can cover an area of 196,000 square feet. It's got color night vision and long range IR, infrared. And so it's great for nighttime with no lights on, like say in the middle of the park, you might not be able to see too well. This has got some great night vision capabilities, and it's got mobile app access. So this would be something that, say myself, the sheriffs could access. We can log in, monitor it real time, or get alerts from it. It has solar charging, live video monitoring. This is a huge part of this rental program. Is part of the rental is you get 24/7 monitoring by their service. So they have people that are watching it 24/7. If one of the alarms goes off or they see something suspicious, they will have our contact information for our dispatch, and they can send a deputy out when they see something happen. So that's a huge feature for this rental. It has 4 weeks of stored on-demand video, and it's got sirens and two-way communication, so you can actually talk through the app and give announcements. You can have pre-recorded announcements, so if somebody comes too close, you can say, the park is closed, sheriffs have been notified, please leave the area. So you can do all kinds of recordings with that. So the program that we're proposing here, we reached out to 3 different vendors to get quotes. And like I said, the City of Lakewood was already utilizing backstreet surveillance. They also came in as the lowest bid for the 12-month rental period. This rental also includes damage and vandalism. So hypothetically, if somebody was to damage it or crash into it if it's parked along the street, we will utilize safe protocols like cones and making sure it's legally parked so that it's not a hazard. But if any of that was to occur, the company covers the replacement and repair of that. They have the live monitoring and dispatch, and then you have the storage of the 24/7 recording. So if we hear after the fact, a week later, something occurred at that location, we can go back in time and pull that footage. So the total requested amount is $82,467 for 3 separate trailers for a 12-month period. And the goal for this was to test it out before we buy. The other feature that why rental is probably better is technology gets old quickly, unfortunately. So having this equipment for 12 months, seeing how it works, by the end of the 12 months, they might have new systems out that we could look at and upgrade to. So this is a great option for us to try this method out and utilize this as a pilot program to get more technology out into the hotspot areas. So just a background on this process when we presented this. We initially presented it to the Public Safety Commission on August 19th. They had unanimous support for this program. And then it was referred to Measure AA Committee for funding. And 3 of the 4 committee members that were present that evening supported it. We had public comment and the Public Safety Commissioner that showed up also supporting this program. And so with that, we're making a recommendation for this to approve the rental of these 3 security camera trailers from Backstreet Surveillance for a 12-month period, utilizing Measure AA funding in the amount of $82,467. Thank you. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Justin. Any comments or questions? Councilmember Garcia?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Justin, for coming up with new crime prevention strategies. Really appreciate it. Just a couple of questions. I want to see if I understand this. Can you help me understand, is there a potential for misuse of these cameras? Like identity theft or, because I don't understand how it works.
You said misuse?
Yes.
So there are security cameras that about 25, 30 feet in the air. They're only going to be parked or utilized on public property. So this is not something that it's going to be angled into somebody's, backyard, front yard, watching people. This is for public security. So we can deploy it in the middle of the park. We could deploy it, like, say, for example, some industrial areas at night when everybody goes home, the cul-de-sacs and so forth. There's street takeovers. We deploy it out on that street, and it's recording, and the cameras are facing down in that general area, so that you can get license plates, maybe facial description. So there's the same amount of privacy or concern thereof as if like doorbells or private businesses with the cameras on the outside. Ours will only be utilized on public property and trying to focus on crime prevention on the streets, the parks, the parking lots, and so forth.
Okay. So the footage that's being displayed, are you going to be viewing that footage or would that be your staff?
It would only have access for myself, the sergeant, and the city manager if requested, but it wouldn't be general staff that would have access to this.
Okay, that's
We'd have it recorded. The live dispatch would be monitoring for crime, which they'd call 911 for, to get deputies out there. But if we have to review footage for criminal activity, the sergeant and I will work on that collectively.
Okay, thanks for that. And under the section on service terms, moving the trailer, it states that the company would train the customer, which would be us, right?
Correct.
So we move the trailer around and we don't set it up correctly, we can be charged for that. So am I understanding that correctly?
You'll be charged if there's damage or something negligent happened because of the poor setup. So they train staff like myself to deploy it. We set it up. We're not just going to let an employee just take it out on their own whenever they want. We will make sure that only staff that's gone through the training sets it up correctly. Similar to like the signboard trailers that we have that Public Works helps put out in transportation. And so part of that would be, setting up the cones, making sure it's legally in a legal parking space, and following all the procedures that this company tells us to follow. Because that is something that we'd be concerned about is liability. We want to make sure that, we're following all the rules and it's a safe place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Answer my questions and keep up the good work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate you. Thank you. That concludes my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And no other questions? Right, Justin, I think you answered some of my questions in your presentation on the outright just purchasing them, because I noticed that the difference wasn't much between the 99,000 to the 82. And I thought, well, why not just purchase them? We'll own them. But you mentioned, so the live monitoring only comes with the rental?
From my understanding, talking to the company, it's an add-on feature if you buy. So there is a cost to it. I believe, I want to say it's roughly $150 per month per camera. So we'd have 3, so $450 a month if we go with the purchase.
Okay.
But this would be
But, I mean, that
automatically
is an
included.
option for us. The other item that you mentioned was the damage. In case they get damaged, obviously, then now we're on the hook. If we're renting them, they will replace it. And the other item that I caught was the technology-wise. In a year, obviously there's upgrades and whatnot. That's the other thing that now we're, I can see how technology can quickly get outdated and new things come out. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with. I initially was thinking, why don't we just outright buy it? But I'm okay with experimenting and checking out, see how they work for us, and look forward to see how things work out. But anyways, if there's no additional comments or questions, I guess a motion would be in order on this item.
Mayor, if no questions, I'll move to approve this item per the staff report.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any objections? Seeing none, motion passes. Thank you. Justin, thank you. And we have item number 9, adoption and second reading of an ordinance to approve development agreement related to commercial cannabis permit application number 18-026 for commercial cannabis testing. Tina?
Mayor, this is the second reading of the ordinance. It was introduced at the last meeting on October 8th, and it was approved by unanimous votes. So it's recommended to adopt the ordinance and conduct the second reading by title only.
Will declare, do we open the hearing now, or do you want to? Okay.
This is only a second reading, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, then second reading, please. Do you need a motion on that, Tina? If you don't mind, let's get a motion, and is there a second there, please? We have a motion, and I need a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, and if we could have roll call, please.
Councilmember Garcia,
Abstain.
Councilmember Lainez,
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer, Vice Mayor Tamirano, and Mayor Guimado.
Yes.
And I'll read the title. That would be an uncodified ordinance of the City Council of the City of Commerce approving and adopting an amended and restated development agreement, also identified as Commercial Cannabis Permit ID number 18-026 between the City of Commerce and VK Labs LLC, a California corporation, to replace Development Agreement number 788 to reflect amendments for testing laboratories for the previously approved commercial cannabis business at 5608 East Washington Boulevard, making findings consistent with and pursuant to Government Code Section 65867.5 and making findings of a CEQA categorical exemption.
Thank you, Lena. And I believe that concludes that item. And we'll move to item number 10. Adoption and second reading of an ordinance to approve development agreement related to commercial cannabis permit application number 18-047.
Mr. Mayor, this is also second reading of the ordinance that was introduced on October 8th and approved by unanimous vote. It is recommended for the second reading.
Thank you. And we'll need a motion and a second. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Lena, could we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Garcia?
Same.
Councilmember Linus?
Yes.
Councilmember Reboyer?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Altamirano? And Mayor Guimada?
Yes.
And I will read the title. An uncodified ordinance of the City Council of the City of Commerce approving and adopting development agreement, also identified as commercial cannabis permit ID number 18-047 between the City of Commerce and Long Beach Exchange LLC, a California corporation for a commercial cannabis business at 3019 Vale Avenue, making findings consistent with and pursuant to Government Code Section 65867.5, and making findings of the CEQA categorical exemption.
Thank you. That concludes all items on our agenda. And this time we'll move to City Council and successor agency reports. Over to my right, Councilmember Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to say that I attended the 2024 Service to Education Awards in Montebello. Since we usually partner up with them, it was very important to attend. Honoring Mr. William Whitmore, it was an honor to be in attendance there. He made an extraordinary impact, not only on education, but to his peers and his students, and I was glad to be a part of that. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Garcia. Over to my right, Councilmember Reboyo. My left, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not much to report other than just to congratulate all of our sports teams that are traveling, putting the City of Commerce on the map. Our Commerce Hearts are very active, playing, of course, water polo, women's and men's. Our baseball team, our boys soccer, Commerce United, are just starting the season. Our dance team as well. I've been just actively going to the park. Obviously, as a mom, I spend a lot of time at the park along with the mayor. So it's just really nice to see so many families enjoying our parks. It's nice to see our sports program back up and running for this. This is our third season since COVID, or second season since COVID. So it's just really nice to see our rec season open. And just also, I want to thank the Veterans Park community for your patience and as we start our phase 1 of cleanup. I'm really happy to finally see movement at that park and to see phase 1 of cleanup, because it's highly needed. So I just would like to thank the Veterans Park community for your patience. I know there's been a lot of questions. I've been getting a lot of phone calls. And I thank Parks and Rec for answering a lot of the concerns. And it's going to be a bumpy ride, and it's going to be a long one. So I just thank the Veterans Park community. But in the end, I know that we are going to get something that is state of the art and very deserving of that community. So that's really exciting. And with that, just to remind the community that we have very important election for the nation and locally. So just remember to exercise your right to vote. And with that, just thank you for the community that's here, the community that's listening, and continue to take care of each other. And God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Reboyo. Councilmember Linus.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I attended the Thriving Communities convening at the Department of Transportation with the Gateway Cities Council of Governments. And what we're doing with the COG is we're working on opportunities to build connectivity across neighborhoods and cities that are along the I-710 corridor. And this program that the COG has been invited to participate in, they're getting capacity building in the form of like technical assistance with like grant writing, and also just helping them develop the scope of the projects that they want to do, one of which they do want to do in commerce. So that would be good to see. While I was there, I did have a chance to meet a couple of the representatives from the Federal Railroad Administration, the FRA, and I told them the story of the train derailment on Ferguson that happened about 20 years ago. Fortunately, no fatalities, but some injuries, and of course, some homes were destroyed, right? And, you know, I told them the story, and I told them how we had the wall that was buffering the rail spur, the track, and the homes, right? The safety wall, but it was never completed. And you know, they informed me of a couple of grant opportunities that exist, and they really felt that our story was compelling enough to be eligible to receive a grant from the FRA. So I know I've already informed our city manager here, and I know he's working with staff, but their notice of funding availability for this fiscal year is now over, but it'll open up around May of next year for the next round. So hopefully we can get our ducks in a row to develop something, right? And get whatever letters of support that we need to make a really strong argument to help us finish that wall and potentially even reinforce what we already have. So I think more to report there, but that was one connection that I felt was really productive that I made, and you know, hopefully we can see some benefit from it. So I think more to come, more to report soon, but that's all I have to report today.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. Can I mention something I just forgot? I apologize. Really quick. I was reminding myself and then I forgot, and then I seen Sonia and I was like, oh, I forgot to mention it. I really wanted to thank the library department. They put on these pizza and politics workshops, and your embajadoras have been doing such a good job of promoting them. So I just really wanted to thank you for that. I think it's really important to have those type of workshops just to educate our community on the measures and the different things that are on the ballot or how to vote, and do it from an, like, what is it called, an apolitical standpoint. So I really do appreciate your pizza and politics that the library has been putting on. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I have a couple of items, and the city manager knows what I want to talk about now, but I wanted you guys to also just be informed, and also our community. We had an opportunity, the city manager and myself, to speak to an employee from Jeffrey Frank's office, the tax assessor's office, and it was a pretty interesting conversation because there's some residents that have been kind of concerned, asking questions about what if they leave their home to their kids. They're concerned about their taxes really catching up to today's market when they bought it 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and their tax base is much lower. And I know that a few years ago, the community or California voted to make that go away. So it's kind of, it blocks us from really having our kids inherit the same tax base. However, they did tell us that they have a form that would need to be filled out through the parents and who they're going to be leaving it to, and it'll actually keep that tax base up to $1 million if the home is worth no more than $1 million. And they agreed to give a presentation for us so the community can start to learn about it, and so we can also be aware of what's going on. So if any residents ever ask us in the future. So if the city manager can set that up, he has a business card to the person that he's going to be reaching out to, and I think it'll be good for our community. Second, there's also been some residents that have been complaining that the home insurance industry, they're getting canceled a lot. And I just think it's wrong what they're doing. A lot of these people are paying, I don't know, $600 a year to $800 a year for their home, and they're being forced out of that insurance. And the insurance companies are making these excuses. And I think, and it looks, I'm not sure, I think it's happening all over California, but it just seems like a lot of people from different cities, from Maywood, Bell Gardens, Montebello, Commerce, like our area is really being attacked in that with the insurance companies, and they're telling me they're paying up to like $1,800 a year now versus the $600 to $800 a year. So I just wanted to see if our city manager could take some sort of action to reach out to our insurance commissioner, Ricardo Lara, and just to figure out what's going on, and see if there's anything that we can do about it. I mean, I know it's happening all over California, but it just seems like they're just focused in these areas and really just forcing these people out of their insurance that they've had for 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, whatever it is, and see if we can do anything about it. we got to be informed on what's going on with that. So if our city manager can also take action on it. And those are my reports. Thank you.
Thank you. Great
Good luck.
information.
Actually, I just want to say good luck to the candidates that are running for election. And I have faith that, when's the election? November 5th?
November 5th.
November 5th, I have faith that November 6th, I'm going to wake up with my colleagues still in office. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Thank you. Yeah, I too, obviously, between myself and my colleague over here, we've been real busy just, walking the community recently. And of course, it gives us a great opportunity to hear a lot of the ongoing issues and concerns that we hear, and that's some of what I reported on earlier. But it's just a great opportunity to connect with the community, and of course, it leaves very little time for other activities that have been on our schedule. So, but I did get a chance to attend with my colleague, the Friends of the Montebello Unified School District Foundation. Great event. I want to thank Jason Stinnett, who extended the invitation, and all of the members of the foundation for the great work that they do in raising money for many of our students of our district. It was a very well organized event, and all of the recipients were very deserving of the recognition, and also for the recognition honoring Mr. Whitmore, who was one of the founding members and really has made some significant contributions to the foundation since I believe he was one of the originating members from 2012 when they first founded the organization. So just want to congratulate all of them for a great job, and look forward to attending in the future. And I also did mention to them, because I think there's a little bit of we do some of the same things, with our scholarship. And I know Jason's familiar with it, and I just thought that wherever we can collaborate and work together on things, I kind of indicated to him that, we should. And I think he was very receptive to that. So hopefully we can follow up on that wherever we can kind of work together to try to make each of our programs better. I think that would be good collaboration in each of our parts. So I think with that, that's all I have. Vice Mayor, thank you for bringing up those two items, very important. And I know that I've heard of people having those same problems. So I think that'll be very worthwhile information to get out to the community, inform the community about. So thank you. Other than that, everybody, wish you all well. And yes, as our councilwoman reminded us, don't forget to vote November the 5th. And thank you. Have a good night, everybody. I think I didn't think I was too harsh on Gloria.